Well, while it's cold outside, the deals online are hotter than ever. Just ahead, we have Cyber Monday shopping tips for you. And while savings are in style, prices at the pump are following suit. We've got the latest details in our gas tracker segment. Here's what else is making news in your neighborhood.
A multi-use facility in San Diego collapsed after just 9 months of construction. I'm Alyssa Trevino with the concern from neighbors and the school district's response.
Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We begin tonight with wastewater, a charge you see on your utility bill every month, but the price is actually decided based on your usage only during this time of the year. Let's break it down. The city looks at how much water you used in December, January, and February and finds an average between the 3 billing cycles, and that then becomes your wastewater charge for the entire next year. And city officials say there's a reason they estimate rather than measure every drain.
Oh, the expense of that would be horrific, not to mention the maintenance of a meter that has that going through it.
Well, because of this, officials say keeping an eye out for small leaks or running toilets during those winter months can help keep your bill lower next year. Well, and it's been a rainy and cold start to December here at home. Well, will our sky stay gray as the week moves on? That's the question. But for answers, we turn to our meteorologist, Diamond Dixon, with more. Diamond, will this cold continue into the following week, into this week?
That's a good question, Clara. Well, at least for tonight, headed into tomorrow, we're going to see some pretty cold weather. We'll have a little bit more sunshine in the forecast for us on Tuesday, but our rain chances also come back Wednesday through Friday. So we do get a break for tomorrow, but outside we see our CCC camera over at Snoopy's Pier. It's gray, it's gloomy. We did have rain earlier today. Now we're drying out. We're sitting at 50 and we feel like 50. North wind just under 10 miles per hour, but temperatures across our neighborhoods are now touching into the 40s. That includes Beeville, Rockport, and Robstown, as well as Alice. But headed into tonight, into Tuesday morning, we're going to see those feel-like temperatures dip anywhere between 29 degrees to 40 degrees. So you're going to want to bundle up tomorrow if you can, because it will start off a lot colder than what we saw today. But coming up in the full forecast, I'll break it all down for you for what you can expect.
I'm Alyssa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in San Diego. Over the weekend, neighbors alerted me on Facebook that the multi-use facility under construction had collapsed. I spoke with one resident who says he's just grateful no one was hurt. These are just some of the things San Diego residents are saying right now on social media after this multi-purpose facility for the school district collapsed over the weekend. Many of you reached out to me to look into what happened.
I don't know if it, why it happened. It could have just, malfunctioned. Something could have malfunctioned, that's why.
Elias Bueno lives about 2 blocks away from the high school, which is where the facility is being built. The $3.5 million structure is part of the May 2024 bond election projects.
I'm just sorry it happened because, there's going to be more money the school is going to spend.
Many residents I spoke with off camera tell me they don't know what happened. All they heard was a loud boom.
It was windy, but I don't know if that would affect it because, they didn't have any roof on it yet.
I reached out to the school district to get some answers. I was able to get in touch with Superintendent Dr. Rodrigo Peña over the phone, but he said at this time, school officials will not be doing any interviews on this matter. Even though I couldn't get an on-camera interview, the school district released this statement online saying, in part, the school district will make sure the architect, engineers, and contractor provide all information to explain what caused this collapse. In the meantime, our school district staff will immediately collaborate with the contractor to barricade all perimeter of the working site to ensure student safety. The superintendent says engineers, contractors, and insurance representatives will be on site throughout the week to assess the damage and determine the next steps. In San Diego, I'm Alyssa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Chris 6 News.
All right, Melissa, thank you. Well, the Corpus Christi Regional Transportation Authority was awarded more than $46 million through the Federal Infrastructure Act, a grant only 5 other cities in the country were considered for. The money will go towards a new maintenance facility that includes a bus wash, updated training spaces, a brand new equipment. RTA leaders say Corpus Christi stood out because of its location near the coast, making it a modern, climate-controlled facility critical during hurricanes and weather emergencies.
The vehicles are real heavy. Some of the jobs are real hard to do. So they, literally blood, sweat, and tears. If they can fix the buses faster, that means there's more reliable buses out on the road for the public.
RTA leaders say once the project is complete, it will be one of the most modern transit maintenance facilities in the country. The new building is expected to open within the next 2 years. Well, there's a new face at the Diocese of Corpus Christi as Pope Leo XIV has newly appointed Bishop designate Mario Alberto Aviles as the 9th bishop of the diocese. In a room full of applause and excitement, Bishop Aviles was welcomed to the Coastal Bend. He was born in Mexico City and previously served in the Diocese of Brownsville. He emphasizes his goal is to earn the trust within the Coastal Bend community.
I don't come with a program. I don't come with saying, I have this list of things that I'm going to accomplish. I need to know what are the needs from the people.
Well, Bishop Mario Alberto Aviles is set to be officially installed on Wednesday, January 28th. He also has an education background as a former teacher and principal. Well, in Rockport, it was a frightening scene for parishioners of St. Peter's Catholic Church over the weekend. On Sunday, police arrested 45-year-old An Nguyen after churchgoers noticed him outside waving a firearm. When officers arrived on the scene, they say Nguyen would not comply with their demands. However, he was taken into custody with no injuries reported. Neighborhood News reporter Adam Beam met with the Rockport Chief of Police, who wants to remind residents to be vigilant in similar situations.
Everybody needs to be vigilant. Everybody needs to be aware of what's going on, and you need to keep an eye out. You need to see something strange going on. You need to report it. Don't just ignore it.
Nguyen is now facing a charge of unlawful possession of a firearm and deadly conduct. Police say they are also investigating how he was able to obtain a firearm given he had a prior felony conviction. Well, today is the first day of early voting for the November runoff election. Here's what's on the ballot in Nueces County. Robstown residents will be voting in a couple of runoffs. First, there's the race for mayor between incumbent David Piri Martinez and Mary Ann Sines. Also on the runoff ballot for Robstown residents is a race for the council member place number 1 seat. The candidates in that race are John A. Ramon and Robert Silguero. Now, early voting ends Tuesday, December 9th. Runoff election day, Saturday, December 13th. Well, coming up, good news for your holiday travel plans. Gas costs are at record lows. We'll give you the price at your pump when we come back.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Well, welcome back. We're just a few weeks from Christmas and drivers are getting an early present ahead of the holidays. The national average for a gallon of gas is $2.95 as of today, December 1st. Now, according to Gas Buddy's online tracker, that's the lowest average, which has been in 4 years. Officials at Gas Buddy say all 50 states saw a drop over the past week, which they say is a rarity. Now, record oil production in the U.S. and improvements made to refineries are among the factors that have made gas cheaper. But here at home, gas prices are hitting below the national average across the Lone Star states. The Texas average is around $2.50, but many neighborhoods in the Coastal Bend are seeing even lower prices. The cheapest in Corpus Christi is at Murphy Express on Saratoga, sitting at $2.44. And if you're north in Portland, the best price is $2.41 at the Murphy USA next to Walmart. And south of us on the island, you can find the cheapest pump price at the Valero on SPID and 361, and that's $2.55, and it'll be a little pricier in Port A, where gas is closer to $2.70 a gallon. Well, just ahead, shopping season is here, and Tuesday is all about travel. We'll tell you how to get the best deals on flights, hotels, and more when we come back.
And coming up, we're going to talk more about our cold weather we're expecting. Also seeing some drizzle along SPID, making it for a semi-wet commute. I'll have that full forecast coming up, and you'll want to bundle up tomorrow morning. Welcome back there, Coastal Band meteorologist Ivan Dixon here with the live look outside our First Community Bank Skycam over the USS Lexington. Still a gloomy day for us and gray and a little rainy out there, getting some drizzle on the roads, but that'll be clearing up here before we reach full nighttime. When we look at December's climate, we typically see a low of 52 for today and a high of 72, but in fact, our average low was our high today, and that also had a lot to do with those showers moving through that dropped our air temperature and once again kept us on the colder side for our neighborhoods today. We still were gray and gloomy throughout the weekend, and that will continue to be the forecast at play until today. We'll see a little bit more sunshine tomorrow, but we did get a little bit of rainfall today. Some small totals, but nonetheless better than nothing. Now, when we look at future tracker, you'll still can see those increased clouds through even 9 o'clock and 11 with a couple of spotty showers that will kind of linger through our neighborhoods through about midnight before fully moving out of the way. We'll get a clear Tuesday, but those rain chances make a return Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday between isolated and widely scattered. Could even see some scattered showers into our Friday morning, but our temperatures right now are hanging out in the 40s and 50s across our neighborhoods. We're seeing 47 for Beeville, 48 for Alice and Kingsville and Robstown, and 49 for Rockport, but 50 here in Corpus Christi. You'll notice those feel like temperatures take a strong dip overnight. We're going to feel like those 40s just until 3 a.m. and those 30s take over from 5 to 7 and back to the 40s by 9 a.m. tomorrow. In the afternoon, we'll get slightly warmer than today, feeling like those upper 50s. And those winds are still out of the north nonetheless, but a little more increase right along the coast of the Naval Air Station in Port Aransas at 14 miles per hour. We spent most of our day in the 40s and 50s, a little bit of a half and half split. Between 7 and 12, we were in the 40s and we were in the 50s from 1 up until now in our 5 o'clock hour with a couple of showers back into the forecast for us. As I mentioned, we hit a high today of 52 here in Corpus Christi, which is the average low. So we will start to see a gradual warm up for our Tuesday, but we do dip into those 40s tonight right after our midnight hour. Those 40s will carry us through 6 a.m. where we're starting to then feel like the coldest across our neighborhoods. We'll be feeling like 29 to 40 degrees by 3 a.m. A lot of our northern neighborhoods will feel like those 30s, but headed into 7, all of us will feel like those 30s and slightly those lower 40s for Port Aransas, but you'll want to keep in mind for Refugio feeling like 30 at 7 and 32 for George West and Beeville. That's right along that freezing line there for us. So for those forecast high temperatures, a lot of them spend time under the average, which is 72 for this week, which will be below normal. But as far as this week ahead, we see temperatures that will dip between those 60s and 70s. We have another cold front that moves through into our Friday that will drop our temperatures into the 60s, and we'll still also have then a couple more mornings in the 40s for the end of the week. So hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday.
All right, Dime, thank you. And while the cold weather keeps you indoors, Cyber Monday is a perfect way to catch great deals, all from the comfort of your own home. Scripps News Group's Stephanie Leibergen has more on what consumers should look for during a big day of shopping.
Consumers are clicking away and retailers are cashing in on Cyber Monday.
I've been looking at the websites of the brands I frequently buy from because I don't want to pay full price for those, so I look for deals.
Americans are projected to spend more than $14 billion online Monday, up 6% from last year. And that's just days after shoppers spent nearly $12 billion online on Black Friday.
I think it's going to be another record breaker. It's typically the biggest shopping day of the year online.
Some of the best deals are on tech items, from cell phones to small appliances, according to smart shopping expert Trey Bodge.
You can go straight to the brands to find great deals, but then you can go to your favorite retailer, like Amazon has tons of tech deals, and then look at Walmart, Best Buy, lots of great deals there, even on Apple.
But concerns about higher prices could hold some shoppers back this year.
Inflation is high, unemployment is high, consumer sentiment is low. We should not not be going overboard this year. And so really, as a consumer, make your list, stick to that list.
Consumers expect their total holiday spending to drop by 5% compared to last year, according to a PwC survey.
The inflation does hurt. So yeah, we are all a little more mindful this year than we usually are.
And Gen Z shoppers plan to cut back the most, saying they'll slash their holiday spending by 23% this year. Stephanie Liebergen, Scripps News Group, Washington.
So you've got your Black Friday and Cyber Monday shopping done, but you're not out of the woods yet. There's more deals to come tomorrow on Travel Tuesday. It's a concept that was started in 2017 by Hopper, a booking platform. In short, it's a day where you can find great deals on flights, hotels, cruises, and more travel options. So where do you look for these deals? We'll start at booking sites like Travelocity or Priceline. You can also shop flights on Google, Kayak, or other airline services. Well, airports have been busy ahead of Travel Tuesday. The Transportation Secretary or Security Administration set another record for daily screenings the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. On November 30th, more than 3.1 million passengers were screened by TSA. It marked the busiest travel day in the agency's history, up to 37,000 from previous records set in June. This comes just weeks after airline nationwide were seeing delays and cancellations as part of the government shutdown. Well, if you're looking for some extra holiday cash, many shoppers are turning to the Powerball for a chance to win big. Coming up, we have the details on the grand prize and what neighbors say they would buy with the winnings.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back. This Cyber Monday, are you thinking about cashing in on a new smartphone? Well, one thing phone owners really crave is more battery life. Scripps News Group consumer reporter John Metarese looks at how the newest iPhone batteries are stacking up against competitors so you don't waste your money.
After hours of calling, texting, streaming, and scrolling through social media, we all want a smartphone battery that'll last. So, in the battle of the batteries, do the new iPhones live up to the hype?
Outside the Verizon store, Jay Hunter faced a familiar dilemma. Whether to squeeze another year out of his old iPhone or upgrade.
If the battery gets to the point where I hop out of the car and it doesn't even last an hour, then I'm going to replace the battery.
Well, there's a lot of talk about AI. All people want is really good battery life on their phones.
CNET's Patrick Holland and his team put the newest iPhone batteries to the test with hours of streaming, gaming, and scrolling through social media. The iPhone 17 Pro Max was the top performer, losing just 9% of battery life in a 3-hour video test.
Apple put a bigger battery in the phone, so there's a bigger gas tank.
He says even the slimmed-down iPhone Air can last all day, depending on usage.
Someone who uses their phone all the time, who's online a lot, is that going to cut it for them? Probably not.
In CNET testing, the newest iPhone batteries outlasted previous versions and lasted longer than Apple's competitors. Some Androids aren't far behind, though.
One that I particularly like is the Samsung Galaxy S25 series, and you don't even need to get the most expensive one, but the most expensive one has the biggest battery.
If the battery is the only issue with your current phone, Holland suggests a battery replacement. He says keep batteries charged longer by lowering your screen's brightness and avoid streaming with a poor cell signal. Vladim Juliants just bought an iPhone 17.
Well, I hear that the battery life is much better.
With a great deal, a new phone could be the answer to your battery issues so you don't waste your money. John Metarese, Scripps News Group.
Well, did you spend a bit too much on Black Friday or Cyber Monday? Well, you'll have a chance in a few hours to get back what you spent, plus a little extra. That's if you win tonight's Powerball jackpot. It's worth a very merry $740 million. That will put some jingle bells in your pocket. Now, one neighbor told us what sort of stocking stuffers she would buy if she won.
I would buy houses for my kids, and donate to the church and give some money to my family.
And what would Angie Puente get herself? Well, she told us she would buy a new car. We hope her Christmas wishes do come true. So what if I told you that you won the lottery, but you didn't actually win at all? Well, that would be an example of rage bait, which is Oxford University's word of the year for 2025. It's described as the feeling a person gets when reading or hearing something that appears to purposely incite anger. According to the UK-based dictionary, the use of rage bait tripled in 2025. More than 30,000 people voted to help choose the word of the year. Now, Aura Farming and Biohack were the two other finalists. Have you heard of these words before?
I don't think so. But you know, I've been seeing a trend lately where people pronounce like the words that were hard this year, and I'm like, I agree. We should do that, actually. We should do that for maybe tomorrow. We'll have to do that.
Yes, we will.
The viewers think alike, just like us. But as far as thinking goes, man, this forecast is interesting this week. We have a cold night ahead of us, and those temperatures will still be in the 40s, but those feels likes will be in the 30s for a lot of our neighborhoods. We then have rain returning Wednesday through Friday with another cold front on the way.
All right, everybody, bundle up. And thank you so much for watching Chris 6 News at 5 o'clock. We will see you here at 6. Good night.